Hey there, welcome back to some Elden Ring and our lore playthrough. We have to check in with people. I've been mentioning it for a couple videos now. We're going to do it now. I have Death Root to give to Gurranq. Let's see what he has to say.
I won't forget. Again, mine appetite. My sin, I must have more. I must consume more.
Beast Claw. Yeah, so it's interesting, you know, he talks about he won't forget it because he goes savage and he attacks us in between some like Death Root turn-ins, right? And he talks about how he won't forget again. His appetite is sin. So his appetite has something to do with some sin, right? Which the question has to be was what? Does it actually have something to tie in with Death Root, or is that just the punishment, right? And also, these guys have these those colliery looking things remind me of a little bit of some of the things you see around like finger reader dudes and some other ones. They're super like twisted and crazy looking, and it's also really weird to me that their like ribs seem to be almost like outside the body and stuff. No, crazy. Beast Claw though, Incantation represents the fury of Gurranq. His bestial nature returned as much as it does his restless agitation. All right. It's been a while since we've talked to Seluvis. Let's see if he has anything to say.
Begging for another lesson so soon. There remains much to be done.
Okay, study sorcery. Oh yeah, he does. Maybe I wasn't able to buy. I might not have had enough then, right? Because it said the Snow Crone taught young Ranni to fear the dark moon as she impaired her cold sorcery. We're gonna eat some runes so we can get the rest of it. There we go. Finally, I want a new puppet.
What's that? You want another puppet? Quite the keen paramour, aren't we? But I'm afraid each and every one is like a child to me. I can hardly just give them away. Oh dear, what's to be done? Why don't you fetch me some Starlight shards? If you can manage it, I'll gladly prepare a new puppet for you.
Yeah, I've got some already, bro.
Every puppet has its own ambience. You'll soon come to know once you possess a few. And once each's predilections are known to you, the better you'll be able to love them. Oh yes, you have much to look forward to further down this road.
This guy's so creepy, man. He's so disturbing. All right. Finger Maiden Therlina we'd gotten already. The Finger Maiden who never met a tarnish she was meant to guide. And then we've got the Jar White. And now ready to join the warriors inside, right? There's warriors inside the jars. You have to apply yourself, better yourself. One day he'll come back for you. It takes 3 Starlight shards. Good lord.
You're proving to be quite the puppeteer. I've not had an apprentice for a very long time indeed.
Okay.
Begging for another. There remains.
About the scheme. What scheme? Right? Like, what scheme is he talking about?
Perhaps you'd be interested in a little.
Don't get close to me like that.
We produce the finest of puppets, which I aspire to cherish with these very hands. A ploy to fool even Lady Ranni. How does that sound?
Okay, I'm interested. God, I hate how he just gets in close and he like whispers. He's like, a ploy to fool even Lady Ranni.
I knew I had you pegged. You're just like me. Then I'd like you to procure something. A rather unique Starlight shard that glistens with amber. With that, my special draft will gleam with nectar sweetness. And even a demigod would be slave to its charms.
Tin puppet. Can I get any more? No. No more sorceries. Okay, about the Amber Starlight.
Procure it for me. The rather unique Starlight shard that glistens with amber. With that, my special. And even a demigod.
Yeah, so creepy, disturbing, dude. An interesting thing about that in the like Starlight shards, because they're supposed to be intoxicating, right? Prized item that was once used in the Turtle City as an ingredient in intoxicating drafts. So that's what he's making, some kind of intoxicating draft to like bewitch Ranni, but he needs a special one, like because he can't just use the regular ones. It's not going to be enough. Yeah. Now we also need to check with Sellen. It's been a while since we talked to her.
There you are, my apprentice. Shall we commence the lesson?
Study sorcery? Anything new? Nope. Okay. I guess there's nothing to say. All right. We'll check back in on another like major event, which should happen here pretty soon. Who else do we have to get? Lord Kenneth Height. See, he's still there. So he's supposed to show back up way down in the Fort Height. And I guess I messed it up somehow. I don't think I finished running through his dialogue. I thought he was like done, and then I just left out, rolled. And so we gotta go wrap that up. All right, what do you have to say? And look, see his garb that he's got. I can't remember. Is that the ruler's or is it just a noble garb? Yeah, it's a ruler's robe. See, there it is. Worn by lords in the smaller nation. Fine blue mantle serves to prove its wearer's status.
Yes. I've been meaning to ask. Would you like to enter my service?
Oh yeah?
I see bright things in your future, stout warrior. Enter into my service and learn the workings of the Erdtree's true order. And who knows? Perhaps sometime down the line, the grace of gold will return to those tarnished eyes of yours. What say you? A fine accord, is it not?
The inner workings of the true Erdtree's order and stuff. All right, yeah, let's do it.
Very well indeed. I knew I saw something in you. I shall await you at my fort. We shall hold the ceremony for your knighting there, I think. I see great things ahead of us. We are truly by the Erdtree blessed.
Excellent. So I guess we'll go meet him at the fort. So now when we approach the fort, there are no demi-humans at all. And when we get into the fort itself, look how they are just kind of sitting around. See, that's their queen. So, yeah. And there he is.
You, is it? Well, I suppose you must have seen it by now, yes. The sorry state of my fort.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, it is a foul fate for a land to be without a ruler. One must be found with haste, and not that awful Godric.
Well, I've already killed him, so we're good.
Stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave.
What about you, bro? You're supposed to be like a guy, huh?
I'm sorry to have lifted your hopes, but I haven't the authority to raise you to knighthood as things stand. The great Kenneth Height is it now. I must begin my search post-haste for a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave. I must begin.
That's it. All right, so he wants to find a true lord for Limgrave, which he wants somebody of the golden lineage. Which, I mean, what about like who should be ruling the place before, the Erdtree and all of them came rolling through, right? I mean, I guess there's nobody else really at this point, huh? So, but who could he mean? Who's he gonna find? You know what that bud kind of reminds me of? The same buds that we see on the Tree Guardians. All right, we've done quite a bit with Millicent, so maybe he has something to say.
Welcome. How may I help?
I gave Millicent the prosthesis.
So, you gave Millicent a golden arm replacement. This is a wonderful development. Thank you for your kindness. Now, Millicent may fully realize her true warrior's potential.
Okay.
Like her beautiful mother.
All right, so yeah, about Millicent.
The girl, Millicent, she is a bird. Green and undeveloped, waiting to flower into magnificence. What a wondrous day that will be. In truth, before her, I'd never seen a bud of such superior quality. She might very well outshine her sisters.
Interesting. So, so he's got study sorceries and incantations now. Look, pest threads. Incantation of the servants of rot secretes countless sticky threads, launching them forward. A technique of the pale pests who crawl through the lands, afflicted by scarlet rot, the abandoned children of the goddess. Do you have an interest in rot incantations?
Do you have an interest in rot incantation?
Then you might like to learn something of the history of Melania, goddess of scarlet rot.
About millennia.
Queen Marika and her king consort Radagon were blessed with twin demigods, and Melania was one of them. She was born an Empyrean carrying the scarlet rod. An Empyrean is no mere demigod. In the age of the Elden Ring and Queen Marika, the precious Empyrean was born, a new god to forge a new order. Since Melania fought Radahn, and the great scarlet flower blossomed in Aeonia, I dedicated myself to her, and to the resplendence of the Order of Rot, a cycle of decay and rebirth.
Huh, desperate prayer. Interesting. Right. Okay, so right, Melania was born to Radagon and Marika, born to rot, but she was also born an Empyrean, and we know that someone was Ronnie, there was talking about her taking the dark path of the Empyrean. So is she actually born an Empyrean, or is she just choosing to take that path? And those who are born Empyrean seem to have like the ability to forge some new order. And he's all interested in this Order of Rot, which is he would like Millennia to do, I'd assume, but he's really interested in Millicent. Now the thing is, right, he talks about her mother and stuff, and she's got a prosthetic arm. And what does Millennia have? She has a prosthetic arm. She has red hair. She has stuff to do with rot, which is what Millicent has done. So like it seems fairly obvious that her mother would be Millennia, but it seems a little weird, right? That you just like, she just seems like some random girl, right? And he's talking about her sisters and how he hasn't seen a bud with such promise before, right? But she's still like new and green and like not quite ready. And there's some other items that like kind of fit with some of that description, but a little different. Sacramental bud, immature blood bud containing fresh blood, believed to originate long ago from a strain of buds cultivated with useful sacramental blood. So like in a way, you know, kind of has some parallels there, right? But she has some sisters, and she in particular has a lot more promise. Now we saw some other people. Pollyanna was one that helped us out here, the adoptive daughter, right? So maybe these other adoptive daughters are these other buds, her sisters, right? But Millicent doesn't seem to have any memories, so she probably doesn't know anything about them or anything like that, right? Yeah, so interesting. So does he want her to replace Millennia? But see, he had to use the needle to quell the scarlet rot because she was dying to it anyway. So she's not like, I don't know. And he made it seem like the pests were pretty foolish to like try and worship her. So we'll have to see as we keep going. I do like his idea of like, he talks about the Order of Rot, a cycle of decay and rebirth, because even out and about in there, right, things are decaying and they're all crazy and stuff, but there is life coming from it. And there was something I was reading about like Earth, real world, and how long ago, before there was really any kind of life, there was life, but not, life as we know it per se, not really like the typical vertebrates and stuff, but there were like trees, right? And like mold or fungus, like that wasn't really like a thing yet. And so like when the trees died, they would just stay there and they wouldn't like break down or anything. They were just trees. And then eventually that's when, eventually you added, it developed, this mold, fungi type stuff, and these growths then started breaking down and decaying all the trees that were left and like not decomposing. So I thought there was an interesting parallel, right, where things don't really seem to die here, but then what do we get? This scarlet rot thing that's like rotting things. It's kind of forcing that next stage. Except it's not a natural thing at all. It's something from an outer god. So unless the outer god is really interested in some natural order, but there's a space right here. You can actually kind of see it here. Now, we had gotten a note a while back from, what's the name? It starts as a P, Pidia or something, in the Carrion Manor. Not the knife print one, a weathered map, right? Can't get it zoomed in anymore, but it says depict streaks of amber light. And see on the bottom how there is that kind of like long rectangle thing with a little narrow thing going off to the left, and then we see there's like starlight looking things dropping down, maybe a rune looking deal, something. If we look here, look, there it is right there. And so we know it's somewhere up here, and there's ruins like a church. So we go and we check out along here. Now you could totally just find this by wandering anyways. Like we went right by it before, and I think in the past I just found the spot anyways just by walking. I think I just fell into the area anyways. But it's really kind of dark, kind of shaded, secluded. A bunch of land octopus, and there's a whole bunch of sacramental buds. Let's see, is there any big ones? Oh, there's a statue there. Okay, interesting. Let's get this. Hey, octopus head. You know, sometimes I like to try and get that. It just is a matter of luck, right? The statue's interesting, right? So there is 2 figures. One looks to be very young. The other one's a little bit older, but still seems fairly young. But the one on the left is missing an arm as they kind of like hold to each other. And it doesn't look like an arm that's like broken off. It looks like they just does not have an arm at all. I wonder what the signal is. In such a weird secluded place, right? Amber Starlight. So I wonder why did it get planted here? I mean, I have ideas, but we'll see as we go, right? An ephemeral sliver that gives off a pale amber glow, what remains of a passing flash of starlight. If the stars command our fates, then amber-hued stars must command the fates of the gods. Such is the belief that inspired the use of these shards to prepare a most special draught. Cannot be consumed by mere humans. So one of the things I kind of wonder, right? Because when you talk to Sellen, she talks about how glintstone sorcery, they use like the power trapped within the glintstones, right? That's why they have glintstone on their staves in order to cast spells. They tap into that power. And how amber houses like ancient life or ancient life force, something along those lines. And then the glintstones is like the amber of the cosmos, and is like the it's like, it was almost like the same thing but slightly different. It's like the residue of life, or the residue of the life of stars, right? And so when you've got this amber starlight, it's like ancient life of stars of some sort, right? But it seems to be tied with the gods. We have it though, so I guess we could take it to Seluvis. All right, Seluvis, we're back. Give the amber. Wait, puppets? Nope. Amber starlight. Yep. Oh. It was once a demigod's very fate. So did they like abandon their fate? Huh.
Ah. Are you still here?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I should give you your reward. Yeah, please. It's all yours. It's splendid work. It's just marvelous.
Magic scorpion charm.
Just you wait. The merriment is soon to begin. The scheme I promised is to be revealed very shortly.
You see how this shield is also to kind of like keep you away with spiky bits on it, and you just went right on in. Merriment. It's so disturbing. Yeah, nothing significant to learn there, but we got the magic scorpion charm. Hooray for us. And I think last but not least is checking in with Volcano Manor. Let's see.
I see you performed another tier as your youth.
Guess I never actually retrieved it. Oops.
To tell you of the true ruler of this manor, Lord Rykard.
Yeah, tell me about him.
The Erd tree blessed the tarnished with grace.
Okay.
But it was all too meager in the face of the enormity of The tarnished were forced to scavenge, squabbling for crumbs, like the shard bearers vying for power in the wake of the shattering. Our lord, indignant, has refused to scurry about, fighting over what miserly scraps they allow us. If the Erd Tree, and indeed the very gods, would debase us so, then we are willing to raise the banner of resistance, even if it means heresy. We at the Volcano Manor, under Lord Rykard, have sworn no rest until it is done. If you follow this heroic path, one day the Lord will see you. The Lord's visits with our champions are always a spectacle. It cannot come a day too soon.
Yeah, I mean, like, on paper, the Volcano Manor stuff sounds great. Like, I agree with it on paper. But in, like, practice, it just rubs the wrong way, right? But he meets with the champions eventually, and they're always, like, a spectacle. The heroic path. Yeah. Alright, but we got a serpent bone blade. I actually really like this katana. Sinister katana modeled after a serpent bone. The densely packed row of spines that jut away from the cutting edge are coated in a lethal poison. Yeah, I like it. I would love poison moth flight on it. Hi. Okay.
You're tarnished.
I am.
Here to put the demigods to the sword.
Yeah.
Then please kill the great serpent, the one that devoured Praetor Rykard. I left the serpent slaying spear in the Lord's chamber.
Okay.
Worthy tarnished. Brandish the spear and run him through. The great serpent. That unspeakable monstrosity.
Anything else?
To Rykard's ambitions, though blasphemous, marked him a worthy sovereign.
Right, yeah, it sounds good.
Reduced in gluttonous depravity, once he gave himself to the serpent. Whatever that thing is, it is no longer Praetor Rykard. Someone must kill him to spare him and his ambitions from further dishonor.
All right, yeah. See, that's lining up with kind of how I feel. Like, it seems like he had essentially good ambitions and ideas, but, you know, he, even if they were like heresy, but he lost the way, right? And he let himself get devoured by the serpent. And I mean, there's so much serpent stuff happening here anyways, especially when it ties, the whole Mount Gelmir ties in with like some ancient serpent stuff.
It is the only run it.
Okay, so we gotta kill the great serpent using some spear. Hey, bud, he looks a little distraught.
It's you, is it? I'm terribly sorry. But would you mind giving me some time to myself? I haven't achieved anything at all thus far. Even though I've dirtied my hands time and time again, I'm still yet to achieve anything. Perhaps I am a fool after all. No, it's worse than that. As things stand, I've given up on the path of revenge and sullied the name of my house. What an easy mark I must have been. How did it take me so long to realize, honestly? There's just no end to my foolishness, is there?
Poor guy. Dialos, he's one of my favorite characters because, like, he realizes he's been duped and he's so, like, kind of naive about the whole thing. And then he's like, you know, he's like, I've been trying so hard and yeah, it's such a shame because he can't go back on what he's already done. He's already done it, you know, and now he's like stuck. And like, he would almost have like in a way, it would almost be better if he were to just fully embrace the choices he's made, but now he's already like remorsing it and like, what do I do? Like, again, I'm just like, you know, he's just lamenting it, but it's a completely human and natural thing to do, right? Like, there's not necessarily like, it's, you don't want to do it, but it's understandable, right? We got a new letter, though. A red letter. Oh. A written request from Volcano Manor disclosing the name of a tarnished to be hunted. As the final request, the letter is vivid red. Juno Hoslow, Knight of Blood, his brother. Right? It would have to be, because he's Diallo's Hoslow. The tale of House Hoslow is told in blood. He can be found in the mountaintops of Giants. Find the red mark on your map for the exact location. So we're nowhere near that right now. So what about you?
Look at you. A recusant through and through. I knew you had it in you. Take this.
Letter to Bernal.
A special invitation to hunt some of the first tarnished who sat at the round table hold. If you should accept, I'll next see you on the field of battle.
Alright, so who did he get a letter for? Just to Bernal, disclosing the name of 2 tarnished. Vargrim, the Raging Wolf, and errant sorcerer Wilhelm. Both men can be found in the royal capital of Leyndell. Alright. No Raya. Interesting. Patches.
Ah, hello. This is for you.
Letter to Patches.
New here at the manor, but if you complete the request, you can improve your standing. Relax. We're old friends.
Yeah. Go on, break a leg then. He says. See, Patches, he got a letter for the Great Horned Tragoth, found in the ruin-strewn precipice. So, I mean, he's helped us a couple times, right? He hasn't actually helped us, but he shows up at the... Oh, we can open this door. He shows up right there in the ruin-strewn precipice. You also find him outside the Draconic Tree Sentinel. Okay, an item. Oh, perfume bottle. That's cool. Oh, but look at that little mantelpiece, right? It's a green in the beads, and it's totally chilling. No big deal. We've seen something like that before when we were, you know, dealing with the abductor virgins, and then we got to the exterior around part of like Volcano Manor. We could see across into other sections.
Brave Tarnished, what is your
Raya.
business here? I'm afraid this is not a guest room. What's that peculiar look upon your face? Goodness, am I still a serpent? Oh, how dreadful. How dreadful indeed. Oh, forgive my distress. I ought to be thanking you for treating me as usual. Despite this appearance, Brave Tarnished, this is my true form. My real name is Zarias. Please forgive the deception. Do understand. This duplicity is my own doing. Lady Tanith speaks no falsehoods. And the Volcano Manor is just as it seems.
Is it though? Interesting that she's a serpent.
Lady Tanith is my mother. I am told I was born by the grace of a glorious king. Mother cherishes this form I inhabit. I am proud of what I am. But people are cruel. If they saw my true form, they wouldn't speak to me. And so I assume a guise when seeking new recruits. But you are not like the rest.
Yeah, so grace of some king, right? And she's like a serpent-y figure now. That's like her true form. And what was that ghost just talking to us about? You know, kill that serpent, that dreadful serpent, the abomination, you know, and how it devoured Rykard, and his, you know, his ambitions just, you know, completely devolved into gluttony. And whatever that thing is, it's no longer Rykard. And I mean, it has stuff to do with a serpent, so here we are. And then, like, and Kenneth is all about Lord Rykard, so
My serpentine are secrets, known only to Lady Kenneth and I. Now I share the secrets with you as well. Please keep them safe from anyone else.
I sure will. I can't. Yeah,
Serpentine form a secret.
yeah. I wouldn't tell anybody else. I don't even know that you can. Who are you gonna tell, right? Go to the round table hold and be like, dude, I met this girl and she's a snake. Well, who are you gonna talk to? But we can talk to her.
If you follow this, it cannot.
The Raya's form.
Did you see her? The girl, Raya, with her true face.
Yes.
Well, if she can confided in you the name Zarias, then perhaps it is not my place to speak. But as her
Adoptive mother.
I ask of you, please be kind to her. Look after young Zarias. Her true visage belies the purity of her heart. Honestly, I hardly deserve the sweet child.
That is rather endearing, right? Like, she just wants you to be nice to her, basically, right? Which is cool.
Please, her true visage.
Okay. Alright, let's end it with a fight against old Tragoth. Oh, wait, nope. There's still one more thing we need to do. Varre. We gotta go back and talk to Varre, too. That's pretty important. Here's our guy. He's got a giant crusher, too. Now we know what that weapon is. Oh, I didn't get a backstab. That blood saved me, though. The blood loss. Oh, man. He can totally muscle through that. He did not stagger at all with shield crash. Interesting. I wonder if I can get him this time. Nope. He just breaks it, man. Jesus. Gotcha. Bull goat armor, talismans, or not talisman, helmet, all this stuff, right? Great Horn Tragoth's helmet, adorned with a gold bull goat motif, provides high poise. Tragoth is a famed knight of assistance. Countless tarnished, facing adversity in the lands between, have survived thanks only to the Great Horned One's aid. Isn't it? It's just to like really dig it in that you took him out. This guy who just like was a bro and helped guys out. Great Horn Tragoth's armor covers its wearer with a pair of giant horns, providing staunch poise. Yep. 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 Hey, Varre. We did the thing, because he wanted us to invade people, and by doing that beast guy way in the Wraithblood ruins, that counts.
Oh, Lambkin, so pleased you're here. I'm glad that you're enjoying my gift. I knew it from the very start. You have a taste for noble blood.
I do?
I wish to anoint you a proper inductee. A knight to serve Luminary Mode.
Luminary Moog.
And establish a new dynasty. Luminary Moog has strength, vision, and of course, love. So, what do you say, my Lambkin?
We're gonna say yes. Anoint me. Though he doesn't like really explain what they're about. He's just like, we serve this guy, the Lord of Blood, and he's gonna dynasty, blah. He's got wisdom, strengths, and of course love. Whereas at least Volcano Manor, they're like, hey, yo, the Erdtree's messed up, and they're like belittling you, giving you scraps, and want you to do all kinds of this hard work. And we said nah, you know. They at least like lay it out for you like that. This guy, I don't know, anoint me.
Yes. Who would have it any other way? Now, take this
Lord of Blood's favor.
for your final trial. Soak the cloth with a maiden's blood. Normally, this ritual would involve killing one's own maiden and recanting the wisdom of the two fingers. But since you are maidenless, the blood of anyone's maiden will do.
Anything else?
The cloth is your final trial. The blood of anyone's.
Okay, yeah, we got no maiden. So yeah, I guess at this point we would murder our own maiden. When I first did this, the only thing I could think of was Irina out here. And so I completely held off doing any of her quest line, went, did his stuff, came here, killed her, and then soaked up her blood. But I think you can go there afterwards. Like, you don't have to wait and just go to the body, and that'll work. If you go to up into this church right here, Church of Inhibition, where there's that finger maiden just kind of there, you could do that. You could go back to the Precipice of Anticipation, where there's a finger maiden who I assume was supposed to be yours, and you could use that as well. But we're just gonna go here. It's easiest, I think. And there she is. Dye cloth. Was it maiden's blood? Let's read it first before we actually like dye it, right? Maybe get another little look at it. A pure white cloth given by Varre, the final child to be anointed a knight of Moog, Lord of Blood. Soak the cloth with a maiden's blood. Blood of anyone's maiden will do. You are maidenless after all. It's got sort of a square thing on it. I don't know. There it is. Ah, see, now we can see the true hidden symbol. Lord of Blood's vow. Or favor. Sorry, not vow. Fully reddened oath cloth. Dyed in a maiden's blood. The final trial is complete. Luminary Moog is sure to welcome you into his service. A knight who will lay the foundations for his dynasty. Luminary is, I had to look it up. It's like somebody who inspires others or grants them faith or something like that, right? We've done the deed.
Ah, my lambkin. You've completed your final trial. And with this, you are a formal inductee.
Nice.
A knight who will assist Luminary Moog, the Lord of Blood, in the establishment of a new dynasty. Now, give me your finger.
Okie dokies.
Noble blood will be an immutable badge of honor once it settles inside of you.
Off our finger.
Oh, good heavens. Clench your teeth or something.
And there's the bloody finger.
Never forget that feeling of agony, for it is what binds you to Luminary Moog, to all of us. You have the sweetest scream, my lambkin.
So let's take a look at it. Attempts to invade, if successful, blah, blah, blah. Glistening blood has been siphoned into the nail of this finger. Its sickly pale skin feels nothing now, but the nail still aches with sweetest pain. So way back when Yura, he was dealing with Eleonora, and he's like, I've learned a few tricks of my own, you know, I've sliced off the finger. But the thing is, like, yeah, we use this to, like, invade, but at the same time, you know, it seemed like he did a kind of transfusion of some kind of noble blood, and that it settled in within us. So even though, like, yeah, he cut off the finger, the blood had already settled, right? So maybe there was just nothing to be done about it at that point. Next.
Oh, another thing. You should have this.
Pure Blood Knight's Medal.
A medal granted by the new Moguin dynasty with the power to grant audience with Luminary Moog.
Okay.
I've gone out of my way to provide one to you.
Thank you.
But you mustn't use it just yet. The meeting must wait until the Moguin dynasty commences. Luminary Moog yet slumbers beside the divinity. We must endure a little longer.
Interesting. So it can take us right to an audience, but he's like, no, don't do it now though yet. The dynasty's not ready yet. It's not ready to commence. And the Luminary Moog is still slumbering next to the divinity. And what is he talking about there? What divinity? Here it is. Now that symbol is the same thing we see anytime we do these blood incantations and stuff, right? In the center, that like trying to try peace. In a way, I could almost see it being like some weird inversion twist of the Erd Tree seal. Also kind of like the candle that the Grand Deal in a way. It's got a crown deal at the top, two little swoopy claws. It actually, the design of it kind of makes me think of Boldekin's Blessing, just with a little bit of drapery cloth looking thing to it. Yeah. Proof that one is a glorious knight of the new dynasty of Moguin that the Lord of Blood will inaugurate. Used to be granted audience with Moog, only it is not yet time, for Moog yet slumbers beside the divinity. Be patient, the new dynasty is nigh. Thanks.
Ah, it is trying. One day you will be elevated, right, my love?
Okay.
One day.
Sounds good. I'll be as patient as I can. Oh yeah, so see, I guess I'd forgotten that this actually said, and I wish I'd bought the incantation so I could have, you know, cross-referenced it. But like earlier when it talked about how Godwin fought to the last and then befriended the ancient dragon Fortisax, it said he defeated him. So he actually defeated him and then befriended him. So maybe he showed him mercy. And so that's kind of what helped start the ancient dragon cult. But that's going to be it for this one. I think we're pretty much set. We've gone through, met with pretty much everybody that we needed to, right? We could go back and try and get the reward thing here, but, you know, there's not much we can get at the moment. It's not going to do anything crazy for us, so we've more or less caught up with what we need. So, on the next one, we should... I think I'm going to go fight Radon. Or, I say fight Radon. Do the festival, right? It's going to be fighting Radon. Yeah, deal with that. And then, maybe tie in some random things there. You know, we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. But until the next one, take care.